everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I continue with the Distress Oxide and Butterfly Obsession with yet another Mother's Day card. I have used this sentiment in a previous video, but I'm so hooked on the Distress Oxides of this particular palette and butterflies, it's kind of becoming an obsession. So indulge me with one more card. All right, let's get started. Here are some of the supplies I'm using today. Again, the CZ Design Love You Mama stamp set and the coordinating dies. And then I am using the Simon Says Stamp Flickering Butterfly Circle. Again, part of the Fluttering by release. This thing is adorable. I'm going back to Worn Lipstick, Spiced Marmalade, and Squeezed Lemonade for my Roy of the Roy G. Biv. And I'm using two sets of sponge daubers. I'm using the mini finger ones and the jumbo daubers, and there's a reason. I've got some of my low-tech Post-it tape, some foam squares. I'm using Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. One panel has already been cut down to size. And of course, I will be using some white embossing powder, some clear stamp ink from Simon Says Stamp, and the MISTI tool, which I cannot stamp without it. So I'm going to start out with the ink blending. Now the reason I wanted to use these little daubers that fit on your finger was because I wanted to create, I'm calling it my little Neapolitan stripe of the pink, the orange, and the yellow. But I wanted these little bands of color to be narrower because my sentiment is not that big. And so what I want to have happen is to see that pretty blend from red, if you will, to yellow. And so I needed a smaller blending tool, and these things are cool. You put them on your fingers like appendages. So I set that aside to dry, and next I'm going to go ahead and score my card panel. Now, this I'm not going to fold. Again, I'm going to keep this flat because I am going to do blending on this card. And I'm going to put down some of the Post-it tape just to mask off the edges because I do not want any ink to get on the edges because the panel that I am going to cut my butterflies from is measuring just about 1/4 of an inch smaller on all sides. So I'm repeating this color blend. And it's funny because as I started to lay the ink down, I noticed that I must have had fingers pressed really hard when I was scoring because you could kind of see my fingerprints, but never fear, the blend is on and the Distress Oxides are going to blend out, and you're not even going to see those because really I'm just creating this splash of color that will peek through with the dies. So I just got it looking how I liked, blended together, and once this is done, I'm going to also set that aside so that it has time to dry. Now it's time to cut out the Flickering Butterfly Circle, and I'm just getting this lined up on my cardstock, which has been trimmed down, and I'm going to run that through the die cut machine so that I get my beautiful butterfly circle cut out. And I am using the Neenah Solar White 110-pound just because sometimes if I were to pick one cardstock, that would be the weight because it's so sturdy and you can die cut from it, you can stamp and heat emboss on it really easily. And so if I had to pick one, I'd get a ream of that. And now I'm just going to go ahead and take my craft pick and poke out the little parts that didn't come out and get that ready because the next step for this is going to be to put some foam adhesive on the back of this panel. I've got my big foam roll and I'm just going to cover the back with the foam and pop this sucker right up off of the card base. I'm not going to make you watch me lay all this down because it is akin to watching paint dry. But there you go. They're in place kind of willy-nilly, good to go. Now it's time to stamp my sentiment. So I'm taking the Love You Mama, and what I'm going to do is just place it so that a little bit of that sentiment pulls from every color. I want to be able to see all 3 colors. I think that looks pretty good. And that's why it needed to be narrow bands with those small blenders because I didn't want big globs where I would only see 2 of the colors. But now I'm going to take my little anti-static tool and just rub that over. And this is really important. If you've ever stamped with embossing powder and it sticks to places and you're like, this is not for me, it's because you need to take the static and any oils off the page. And that thing lays down a light trace of powder so that when you take your sticky ink, like I'm doing here, of course with the sleeve technique, always recommended, But now there's no other places on that paper where your powder is going to stick. So I hit this twice with the clear ink from Simon Says Stamp just because I wanted to get a really good coating. I really want my ink to stick, and I really wanted to have a great impression. I'm just using white Hero Arts powder. Tap the excess off, hit it one more time, and because I removed all the static and oils, it really sticks where I wanted it, which is right on that sentiment. So that looks good. I've got my heat tool and I've got it heated up before I start the embossing process just so that it minimizes the time that the heat has to hit my cardstock. And it gets white and shiny, and that sentiment is looking lovely. One thing I wanted to show you, and I've been sharing this in videos, is this little salt cellar holder that I got from Amazon. It's fantastic for storing your stamped chamois. I have a Gina K tidy towel. And the thing I love about it is that your towel does not get smelly because that is not an airtight container. All right, speaking of Gina K, here's a tip I learned from her. I am terrible with dies sometimes, and if you've done a ton of work and then you go and you die cut it and you mess it up, I'm just going to say it, that kind of sucks, right? I learned from Gina that you can take a piece of cardstock and cut out your die shape and then lay it over your stamped area until you get it right, like what would be the perfect cut, just like this. And once you get that set up how you like it and tape it down, you basically are using this as a template guide to place your metal die back in and then run it through. Now I'm going to tell you this, I think I should have used lighter paper, which I normally do, because the black got a little, well, you're going to see, but you can feel it lock into place and there's no guesswork, right? Then you tape that down and then run the whole thing through. But again, usually I just use lighter weight paper. And here's what happened. I pulled it out and it was not cut all the way through. So I didn't panic. I'm a trained professional. I just taped it back down, ran it back through, flipped it over to make sure, okay, did it cut? It cut. I was starting to panic here because I thought, I don't want to do this again. Surely enough, it came out. And the only parts that didn't really cut that well were the little cuts in the M. So I just used my little pen blade and trimmed them out. Normally, this does not happen to me. Like I said, I think just use a thinner piece of cardstock. There you go. Saving the day. On the spot, people. That's right. Now I'm just going to put some foam adhesive on the back. I cut it apart a bit to have some smaller squares because I want to pop up my sentiment. And now it's time to assemble the cards. So I'm taking off all of the adhesive backing from the foam tape, revealing the masked area, which really isn't a reveal, it was just for safety precautions. And then I'll just fold the card in half, grab my bone folder and press it down to get that nice fold. And now I'm going to take a piece of that low-tack tape, stick it inside the card, press it down just to keep it closed while I line up my panel, because I like to see straight down on a flat card panel and get that down where it needs to go. But if that card is not flat, I think it's really hard to see. I've got my sentiment, popping that up right in the center. And I did think about leaving it, right? I thought this looked pretty good as is. There was a little bit of black cardstock still stuck to the M. I tell you, the black cardstock, great idea for the template, just don't use black cardstock. All right. But I decided to bling it out. I've got these cute iridescent crystals from Studio Katia, and what I did was I flipped them upside down inside the large dots all the way around. And then I just took each one out and I filled the little open space with a generous dose of the glossy accents because it needed something to stick to. And I had a little trouble with that one. You know, I'm not a master with the jewels yet. I'm getting there, but you know, highly trained professional, remember. But I just went ahead and worked my way around the circle, adding the little iridescent gems into the holes. And my friends, that card is finished. Makes me happy. I need to move on from this color palette, or do I? Hard to say. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. I have been having so much fun, again, with this color palette and with these butterflies. and just using some simple techniques and executing a really simple finished card. Thanks so much for watching, and I'd love to have you hit the subscribe button and stop by again soon. Thanks, everyone.